Alright, so for this episode, we're doing something a little bit unusual, something I would never normally do. You see, the microphone that I was using at the time was only somewhat connected. In other words, it was telling me that it was functioning without actually recording anything that I was saying, which means that this episode would have been a lot of you watching me lip just voiceless ideas, and basically that would have been very boring. You would have been watching me run around, sit in the dark, do a lot of stuff without any context as to what exactly I was doing. So I thought I might do something slightly narcissistic and watch myself back and sort of narrate what my thought patterns were at the same time. So I'm starting off in Camp Woodwind, nice easy breakout game. The difficulty multiplier is 5 times. The idea being that we've got a ghost that gives plenty of warning when it's about to hunt. There's lots and lots of hiding spaces, um, but at the same time, there's it's still at full speed. We're only going to get 2 pieces of evidence as well, so I'm sort of testing myself to see if I can um, figure out a ghost without using all of its evidence pieces. For some reason here I was having a lot of difficulty getting the candle back on the shelf. Like it just wouldn't aim. I don't know why. I decided to go with the torch over the candle because I want to get the ghost to hunt early, because you can tell a lot of ghosts just based purely on their hunting capabilities, which is why I'm about to head straight to a hiding spot. The idea here was to just sort of sit, hide, uh, and see if the ghost would hunt. Now, when I heard that, I thought, okay, it's hunting, and it's hunting really bloody quietly. I was bloody confused. It wasn't, however, hunting. That was just the world's shortest ghost event. Light switch touch just there. Um, the gate is obviously open. Didn't hunt. Now, I start this round at 50% sanity, so the fact that it's not hunting started to have me a little bit suspicious as to what it was. There's really only 2 ghosts that hunt that late, that early on. The Fae, of course, can also hunt very late if you spend a lot of time in the ghost room with it. But of course, I'm not sitting in the ghost room, so it's probably not that. Now, this narrows my guesses down to either a shade or a Dio. And if it's a Dio, of course, I don't want to hide. Dios are famous for seeking you out regardless of where you hide. And I think at this point, I'm pretty much coming to that conclusion. So I'm checking my sanity here. I'm now at about 40%. So even a Dio should be able to hunt me if it's going to hunt me. Not that this ghost is very active at all. It's actually it's definitely a shade level activity ghost. If we didn't get that ghost event very early on, there we go. I've witnessed a ghost event. That proves it. If we didn't get that ghost event very early on, I would probably at this point think, okay, I'm up against a shade. But at this point, I'm pretty confident that I'm up against a Dio. Um, so I'm sort of sitting around. Maybe I get a hunt. Where is it? If it's a Dio, I want to be in the open when it hunts. If I can see it coming and then circle it. Let's go get the breaker. Bit of extra light. I've just lost my bearings, completely lost where I am here. Turn the breaker on just as the gate closes and the ghost starts the hunt. Now, very carefully, of course, we get those steam train footsteps. I smudge on impulse just because that's what I do. And the speed of the ghost here really confirms that it is in fact a Dio. I keep getting stuck on the logs though, which means that I don't want to be facing backwards, because if you get stuck on the logs with a Dio, you're just as dead as anything else. I keep looking back to see it, just for the fun, just for shits and gigs. And there he goes, he stops. So that was like the easiest, quickest speedrun I've ever done. Instantly, I know that's a Dio. 100% that's a Dio. Done. Easy. Simple. Of course, when you get a ghost that's this easy to outrun, you don't just walk away. You look at your objectives and you think, where can I get some extra cash? And especially on a map like this, yeah. See, I cannot seem to put the candle back on the shelf. I don't know why. I can put the lighter back. I don't know. With a map like this, it's like Camp Woodwind is very, very open. It's very easy to get just absolutely obliterated by a fast ghost. So when you get a ghost that you can literally outwalk, you take advantage of that situation, obviously. Now, I still need to get a ghost photo, which is why I'm carrying my camera. I didn't manage to get one during the last hunt. I don't know why it never occurred to me to get a photo during the hunt. Oh, I didn't have a camera on me, did I? I had a torch and my smudge. So that's why it didn't occur to me. Break it back on. I'm pretty sure that the ghost was around here where it started its hunt. I'm not sure where though. So we need to localize where the ghost started its hunt, where the ghost is haunting. Although we're not really interested in getting a lot of evidence, we are interested in racking up as many photos as we can as early as possible. Motion sensors are really difficult to get on this map. I placed this one here just in case I want to get a hunt later on and walk it through. Nice bone, thank you very much. That's a bit of cash. On this multiplier, it's 50 bucks. It's pretty good. Pretty good for a Dio. And I may as well leave my torch behind, I think. Carry some extra gear. Get that second motion camera in here. And the Paramic is an objective, but the thermo is going to make it easier to find the ghost room early on. Now the outdoor maps, so Woodwind and Maple Lodge, the thermo becomes a little bit less useful because it's harder to determine the accurate temperature. That swinging chain on the gate keeps freaking me out. It's hard to determine an accurate temperature. The temperatures vary so much and the rooms don't really heat up a lot. This is cold-ish in that tent, but it's not really cold enough to confirm that the ghost is in there. Not yet, anyway. And it is very dark. It's the torch. Nice moon. Look at that pretty moon. So we're just sort of wandering around trying to confirm whether or not the ghost is in here. It has a high roaming potential as well, which means that the rooms are not going to cool down an awful lot. And the tents being so small, the ghost doesn't tend to stick around very long when it is in them anyway. Still very warm in this tent, so definitely not in this tent. Checking this corridor. No, pretty balmy. Mate, the 13 to 17 degrees in a couple meters, that's a hell of a temperature swing. Like, what's going on there? A big dramatic gesture to get that tent flap open. Not cold enough to convince me. There's that rolling canister, proof that the ghost is in fact somewhere nearby. Don't know where exactly, but it is somewhere nearby. I think at this point, like 8 degrees is not really cold enough for a ghost room on its own, but it's the coldest temperature I'm getting, so it's, you know, it's going to be the closest that I'm going to get, unless it wanders away. The toilet block maybe might be the one exception to somewhere where, like, that might be somewhere you can actually control the temperature a little bit. I'm not sure. Get that motion sensor on that pole. Try and trigger it. A little bit more inwards maybe, just in case it's walking in and out of that tent. Now we still want to get the ghost photo and we don't want to miss any opportunity, so we're going to keep the camera on us, make sure our sanity is still good, and let's go get the parabike. Get that objective. Hello, Mr. Ghosty. Can you whisper? Can you say something? And Gregory's very quiet. Hello? Gregory? Gregory, Gregory, Gregory. There we go. Gregory likes to whisper. Very nice, and that's all our objectives. At this point, it's really just filling up the photo wall with as many pics as we can. Now the EMF is going to make it a lot easier to work out what the ghost is interacting with, and therefore what we should be taking photos of. Ugh, excuse me. Alright, let's move this second motion sensor over here, just so we can keep a track of where the ghost is exactly. Again, it's that chain on the gate. It keeps getting me. I keep thinking that something metal has been moved, and maybe it has. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's just an ambient noise. Mr. Teddy Bear's still there. And he's kicked over the canister again, I just noticed. Man, he really likes rolling that canister around. Can't remember what we're going to go get here. Oh, we're going to go light the fire just for shits and gigs. Bit of ambience, why not? It sort of surprised me a little bit because you don't actually have to press a button to light it, you just have to have the lit lighter walk up close enough to the fire and it lights itself, which was a bit of a shock. Ugh. God, I am nowhere near as interesting to watch back as some other players. Maybe it's just because I mean, when you know everything that's going to happen, it sort of removes the fun from it a little bit, but also not. I don't know. I kind of like watching myself struggle. I am so bad at photos. This ghost really likes this door. That was a really loud bonk too. Clearly, I am not very good at photos though, because as you're about to see, that one didn't count. I don't know why that didn't count. So yeah, thoroughly ripped off on that second one. I mean, I missed one of the door ones as well. But I can sort of understand why a little bit more with the door ones. They're harder to aim. But I mean, where the hell does it hit on the cooler boxes? Where are you supposed to aim the camera? Ugh, oh my goodness, why am I yawning so much? Is it caffeine o'clock? Hello, Gregory. Gregory. Wo bist du, Gregory? The other thing with this map is that I can never tell what direction sounds are coming from. With the houses, I can always tell what room a sound is coming from. But with the camp maps, everything is so ambient. Get that second camera for all those good photos. I don't know why I didn't just grab salt. I've just got so many salt pics rather than waiting for interactions. That would have been a much more efficient idea, I think. Well, that was a little ambient noises on this map. Hello, Mr. Bunny. You're looking very dapper today. Your ear's a little bit bent, but that's no less cute. That is a tent peg. Fire's gone out. Someone should fix that. Excuse me. I was gonna light the fire, not turn off the breaker. Very rude. Don't do that again, Gregory. Thank you. Woof. Such a nice roaring blaze. Mate, if it was that easy to get a fire like that started... I don't know where I was going with that sentence. My point is, it's not. If you've ever tried to light a bonfire, it is not that easy to light. Another door touch. Really likes this door. Never actually closes it though, just plays around with the Velcro straps. And Gregory has a fascination with Velcro. Starting to think that to get the ghost photo we may actually have to lower our sanity for a little bit. Why has that come up? Go away. Thank you. May have to lower sanity a little bit, so should turn out the lights. Sit in the dark for a little while. Because even if you're not aiming to get within hunting range, the lower your sanity is, or it seems to be anyway, it seems to be that the lower your sanity is, the more active the ghost will be. Now I don't know if that's actually a programmed truth, but it seems to be, in my experience anyway. You'll get much quieter ghosts when you're early on, or if you're keeping yourself safe. Of course, Gregory decides that he likes the warmth of the fire. Can't see him, I don't know where he is, and I'm a bit, pissed off with missing the photos at this point, so let's just take a few more. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't know which one of those worked, but I'm sure one of them did. And we're out. Yeah, there we go. First one. And that was Gregory. Thank you, Gregory. You were wonderful. You were wonderful, Dio. Thank you for letting me take you for a walk. Very classic Deogen. And that's... it's an honest strategy, starting the game on 50% sanity. It's so nice being able to do that. You get... you can tell straight away, a lot of the time, the ghost you're hunting. I've got some jobs ready for you. Just by the way it hunts you back. Not the biggest cash reward in the world, 250 just for the game, and then the rest of it is all, the bonuses. But still, for a relatively safe mission, that's pretty good. Pretty good. It's better than grinding on amateur mode. Much better. But yeah, straight away you can tell that's a Dio by the fact it doesn't hunt you at 50%. As soon as you get to 40, boom, there you go. You get a steam train running towards you. Which instantly slows down as soon as it gets too close. Yeah, I think maybe about a third of the ghosts you can tell just purely on hunting. Okay, here we go. Similar strategy. Gonna go in on 50% sanity. There we go. And we're up against Billy. I don't know why I'm just looking at the map here. I'm obviously saying something. I don't know what I'm saying though. And then, I did grab the camera. So instinctively, I just grabbed the camera, thinking that it's a torch. I do that a fair bit, and I don't remember doing it. So it's interesting to watch that back, and you start to realize, here I'm like, why isn't my light turning on? Oh, just so used to grabbing the camera. In hindsight, you can actually learn a lot by watching yourself back. Here we go, Billy Birch. Like the name. Billy Birch. And we've got some relatively easy objectives. Ugh. Excuse me. Easy objectives given the style that we're aiming for. Alright, make sure you grab that car key. And we're looking for a breaker, obviously. I'm checking for hiding. And naturally I freak out a little bit. I just heard a door close there. And even though I can still hear it singing, I'm sort of a little bit, you know, heightened adrenaline. I'm not thinking super clearly. I know it's not hunting because I can hear it singing, but I've heard the door close, so my natural instinct is, of course, is to hide. I am trying to listen though, because I'm expecting it to hunt at any point. I'm at 50% sanity. The likelihood of getting a Dio or a Shade again is not very high, especially since I just got a ghost event immediately outside of where I was hiding. The door that I heard closed was this one here. Now I'm thinking at this point maybe, like, unlikely, possibly a Ure. It's just turned off the breaker immediately as I turned on the light, and it turned off the breaker instantly twice, which was really weird. So I'm thinking Mare, perhaps. Mares don't turn off the breaker any more than anything else, but they do turn off lights. Panic Brain has me doing some really silly stuff and just running in here under panic. I mean, I know there's no hiding in here. Pretty sure I'm about to die. Ghost wanders away. Normal ghost speed. Upstairs. And I take this opportunity to get just, you know, a little bit better hidden. It's still not great. I could still close that door to make myself a little bit safer, but, you know, adrenaline. We can rule out a Dio, because of course it didn't find me. We can rule out a Thay, a Moroi, Twins, Revenant, and we can actually rule out a Huntu as well. But I remember that in just a second. And the reason we can rule out those ghosts is because their speed would be obviously different from the norm. Myling we can also rule out, but not yet a Raiju. So Raiju, they definitely change speed during their hunt, but because we didn't have any electronic equipment, I don't rule it out straight away, because the electronic equipment is what changes the speed of their hunt. We can rule out a Huntu because the temperature changes their hunt, and it would be all over the place. It would be faster, slower, all over the place. Morai, it could still possibly be. I'm still not great with identifying Moroi at this point. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not, because at 32% sanity, it would be quite a bit more faster. Fair bit of activity. I'm pretty sure that there's an EMF 5 spike there. I'm looking at it thinking, okay, maybe we want to check for Raiju. Raiju, if we go and stick some electronic equipment in, can hunt a little bit early. But I actually really hate Raiju, so let's test for other things first. Let's pop that back. We don't need that anymore. 84 sanity, that's nice. Only one thing can hunt there. And we're going to take in 2 really strong evidence items to try and locate the room early on. EMF, of course, is an excellent evidence item for telling where a ghost is, because you can measure the recency of a lot of interactions, and the thermometer temperature gun is quite possibly my favorite tool for telling where a ghost is on the house maps. Look at that plate. Plate down on the floor, plate up on the table. There's a fork down on the floor, which is absolutely giving me EMF 5, so we can confirm that. It is definitely cold in this room. Not freezing though. So not freezing, but definitely cold enough to tell us that the ghost is here. We'll keep the thermometer in the house so we don't have to keep running back to the truck to get it. And we'll drop this here for now. We're going to leave it on in case it's a Raiju, and we're going to do a Raiju test. We'll be able to hear it speeding up if it's hunting as it goes for the stairs, because I'm pretty confident that I can hide upstairs. So we do have EMF 5. Now, I think I'm trying to remember what a Raiju's ghost ops. There we go. I was trying to remember what the third piece of evidence would be for a Raiju, because I knew it was going to be dots and EMF. Couldn't remember if it was going to be spirit box or dots. Orbs, sorry. So let's go test for orbs. And we'll take the writing book in there too. Writing is a really hard evidence to get, so you get it in there nice and early. Maximize your chances. Just turn that off. Check for orbs. Don't think I see any orbs. Does anyone see any orbs? No, just a plonk. We've got a pianist in the house. That's nice. Alright, pop that down there. Drop the book there so we'll know if it gets used. And let's go get some more stuff. Salt is an objective, and it can still be a wraith. So, pretty important objective to get at this point, because you can rule out wraith, get an objective, and get photo at the same time, or at least, you know, 2 of those 3. If it's a wraith, then you don't get the photo, but then you confirm that what you're working with. You want to put some salt in the choke points, so you can tell if it's moving around, and maybe over here, just in case it wanders behind the table. Now at this point I'm thinking, gee, lucky me, I didn't try to hide behind the table. Let's just chuck some items here so we can try and get some interactions on the other side of the room. Yeah, I'm thinking, gee, it's lucky I didn't hide behind that table. The table is not a great hiding spot. I die there more often than I live, but because it's an easy one to find in the dark, you don't have to open any doors for it. It does tend to be one that I preference. I am terrible at hiding when I have to do so on the fly. I tend to die most of the time, or at least half of the time. Let's pop that there. If it's a Raiju, we'll know. Where is our ghosty? There he is. Thank you for the photo. He's really tall. Hey. Didn't notice how tall he was. Kind of eerie in itself. Is he still going? Yep, still going. Can he stop now? Thank you. So I didn't want to walk into him, because if you walk into him, that's when the ghost event will reduce your sanity. So if you can stay away, then you can keep your sanity. Another EMF 5 spike. Still got to repel. Which is pretty much a given, since a lot of these ghosts you need to get hunted to tell. Now I've momentarily forgotten that it's only 2 pieces of evidence, so I've temporarily ruled out freezing temperatures. Promise I will remember that it's only 2 pieces of evidence shortly. Oh yeah, I'm wondering why the light's off, and then I remember. Ghost event. Temporarily considering going to get UV. Remember, the ghost event doesn't cause fingerprints. Stepped in a lot of salt in here. Got the dots, thank you. Take that photo, thank you. Put the lights off, we can go check for orbs and dots in the van, where we can be nice and safe. Okay, sanity's still decent. Don't really need that anymore since we got the ghost photo. We will want it to go and find the bone, however. But that's, like, the bone doesn't run away. That was a hell of a throw. And it was the writing book too, which tells us that this ghost does not have writing as an evidence. We did just get dots there. I missed it, but we did get dots. I missed it in-game. Ooh, turned on the light. Really likes that light switch in there. I'm surprised that I didn't check fingerprints earlier. There we go. See, I remembered. I'm checking for double ups now. There we go. I saw dots. It's our second evidence. Very nice. And we're down to 3 really frustrating ghosts to determine. So Goryo has dots as an evidence, and it's force dots as an evidence too. It will always have dots. as an evidence, so long as there is at least one piece of evidence given. But you're never going to see it if you're in the room with the naked eye. You'll only ever see it through the camera while you're not in the room. Which makes it a hard one to test when you think it might be a Raiju. So at this point I'm kind of hoping that it's either an Oni or a Goryo. Goryo is going to be frustrating to test for, but pretty easy to test for. You just stick around till you get dots in person. Door touch. Drop these down just in case it does prove to be a Raiju. Not that I want to get hunted by the other two ghosts. Let's grab the camera and we'll go and watch from outside the room just to be sure. It's throwing a lot of crap in there. At this, like, I could be getting photos, but I'm a little bit nervous because if it does turn out to be a Raiju, they are hella deadly. I get killed by Raijus more often than anything else. I have never survived to a Raiju. The reason being is that I am very tech happy. I love setting up the dots projectors. I love setting up and leaving on the EMFs. I love having cameras in the room, and the Raiju loves that playstyle. It loves all of that stuff. So I'm sitting around at the moment praying that I get dots on my camera, but not in person, because that will confirm that it is in fact a Goryo. A Goryo I can handle. I can deal with a Goryo very, very easily. Of the three, it's actually the simplest ghost. Trouble is, the dots is very hard evidence to get. So sit here quietly in the light as much as we can, and we watch and we wait. And I think here's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure watching this back, I saw dots twice. At the time, I was only like 50% sure I'd seen it that second time, just toward the end there. It's such a painful evidence to struggle for. My sanity's still very high though. Raiju I think hunts at 65 if there's tech around, so being at around 77-ish%, we're still fairly safe from a Raiju, but that situation can change very quickly. Now, remember that we are above 75% sanity here. We are somewhere like 78. I think we're probably around 78. Which means we're getting down toward hunting range of a Raiju. The other thing I'm hoping for at this point is a couple more ghost events, because if I can touch a ghost event, I can probably determine if it's an Oni. Onis drop your sanity by quite a fair bit during ghost events, if you can touch them. I've circled Oni at this point based purely on the fact that it is, it hasn't done an airball, and it does seem to be very fond of doing like big showy ghost events. Let's go find the bone though. I find that the bone is more often upstairs than downstairs, maybe because there's a lot of rooms up here. And also they recently patched it. Oh, there we go, spine in the nursery. It's a weird place for a big ass adult spine, right? Good, we got hiding. Yeah. Like I said, I've got the hiding on spots on almost everything. It's not on absolutely everything, but it is almost everything. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the bone is currently, like, it's been patched a little bit, so the bone will spawn wherever the ghost can walk. You may, like, if you do watch my videos, I don't think many people do, if anyone, but there was at least one occasion where we managed to record a bone that was up on Willow Street. It was up on top of a bloody cabinet in the hallway, which was really nasty place to put the bone. We couldn't get the photo of it, which was painful, but we at least did collect the bone itself. Excuse me while I just open this. I love this stuff. Nestle, if you want to. This ghost really likes to turn on lights as well. No point having the light on in here though. There's no hiding. Nothing moved in here. And no hiding, so let's turn these lights off. So, because I don't have my torch. Outside light. Very cute. Also very useless. Because I don't have my torch on me, I'm focusing on turning on lights that will help me to evade the ghost. So I'm specifically turning on the ones that I will need as an exit strategy. The ones that will guide me to a hiding spot. I could also have turned on that lamp at the front door, but I leave it off because I'm not sure how many lights I've actually got on. And I don't want this ghost to turn on so many lights in the immediate area that it blows the breaker. So, anytime you get a ghost that really likes to turn on lights, thank you for that little salt pick, by the way. You want to be careful that you're not giving it the chance to blow the breaker on you by simply turning on lights. And that goes true for the djinn as well. May as well get some salt picks since that's a nice easy photo. Crucifixes are still untouched. Not that they're excellently placed. What door was that? And again, like, we're hearing a lot of door touches. It's decided to change tack. Basement door. And another light switch. Whoop. Bloody hell. Notice that my instinct was still to get the camera again. I had dots there, by the way. Instinct was to get the camera again, even though we don't need the ghost photo. And I know we don't need the ghost photo. It just goes to show that some behaviors are definitely hardwired. Get a ghost event, grab your photo. Grab your photo cam. I love me some foot pricks. So we've definitely ruled out Goryo at this point. We've seen dots. Which means, with me, it is most certainly either an Oni or a Raiju. Both of which are potentially very dangerous ghosts. The Raiju more so, because of its hunting capability. The Oni because it can lower your sanity quite a lot during its ghost events. Now both ghosts, if you need to determine between the two, you have to get a hunt. The Raiju you'll tell based on its early hunting, but also on its like the speed of the hunt, if it speeds up and slows down. And the Oni you will tell based on how much it flickers during a hunt. So the Oni won't flash so much. The Oni will be visible for long periods of time. Now I'm still sort of leaning towards Oni here because like we're getting very close to a Raiju hunt phase. We've got so much tech around. We're down to about 65. Still not hunting. So the next ghost event we get, we're going to want to check to see if it's an Oni by lowering our sanity. We're up a bit higher than that, sorry. We're on around 70%. Again, it really likes turning on lights. Where's my camera? There it is. Right, we can probably lay down the rest of the salt. Got a little bit distracted earlier when we were going for the salt. Or not. Where is it? Hello? Where are you? Where are you? Right, there's actually something I missed here that was very, very important. So there we go, we tried to touch it. Let's go check our sanity. Something very important that I missed there the first time round that should actually tell me exactly what ghost this is. Now we're on under 65% sanity, so if it's a Raiju, you can hunt. Still leaning towards Oni though. So we should still be fine. Let's get on some lights. Let's go put down some more salt. And let's pop this down. In the walkway, thinking. Yeah, grab a camera. Thank you. Right, crucifixes are still fine. Except, did you notice that? One of the crucifixes just got 8, and I didn't notice. If I had noticed, I would know right now that this is a Raiju, my least favorite ghost, and one that I never survive. Closing all the doors so that we can sort of keep track of where it is. We know that it likes to open doors. And then the hunt starts. And I run. And I run upstairs. And I can hear it speeding up behind me. I know it's a Raiju. It's right behind me. I smudge. I get in the closet. I close the closet. Rather awkwardly. Terrified that I am because it's right outside. But I should be safe. I should be safe. And let's go back downstairs. It is not an Oni. 100% is not an Oni. Just finished its hunt. So what was the thing that I missed earlier during that ghost event? The range that the ghost started to affect the equipment was far higher than any ghost other than a Raiju can achieve. So the dots projector was going nuts, and that's why it took me a while to work out where the ghost was. I thought it was somewhere very nearby. Because most ghosts, if they're nearby, they will affect the equipment. Raiju, however, affects equipment within 10 meters, which on a map like this is a very large radius. So even though it's right by the door, it's affecting stuff right at the back of the house. And if I'd stopped to think about it for a second, it would have been very obvious that this was a Raiju. Also, I lived. I lived against a Raiju for the first time. So very proud. Might seem like a relatively small thing. For me, however, that is a pretty big deal. See, most deaths, still Raiju. Very, very happy that I lived. Well, I hope this wasn't entirely disinteresting. I hope you enjoyed it. I sort of did. If you did enjoy, remember to do the thing. Hopefully next time I remember to actually check my microphone before we actually start playing a game.